2, 1.
From 172 teams down to 2, the 16U National Championship is down to this. I'm Cory McCartney, welcoming you into LakePoint Sports, where we'll be bringing you coverage of the 16U National Championship final between 6'4" DP Hawkins and building champions. It's not David versus Goliath, but it certainly has some of those vibes as a 6'4" Hawkins team that included 5 ranked players in total. Has maneuvered an absolute gauntlet to get to this point. They went 4-1 in pool play, which included getting no hit in that one loss, and they have gone on a bracket run that included taking down the top overall seed in the Rawlings Braves, and they also just took down their sister program 6'4" DP Cougars in the semifinals. They have another tall task on their hands versus building champions, which has 5 future gamers and the number 4 player in the nation in 2027. Should be an exciting one. I'll be joined along the way by Prep Baseball Georgia's Ian Smith and our own Grayson Rosen. First pitch is slated for 11:50 or 11:55. We'll see what time they end up taking the mound in this one. Now, the building champions roster you will see today is absolutely stacked as they cruise to a 5-0 mark in pool play. They just finished off a 4-1 win over Northeast Pride in the semifinals. And our Barnsley Resort player spotlight is on a player on that building champions roster, Cameron Miller, third baseman and right-handed pitcher out of Nixa High School in Missouri, the number 10 player in the Show Me State. He's 27th in the nation among all third basemen. Miller and building champions, 15U champions a year ago, by the way, looking to add to their hardware. Now, in terms of the prep baseball rankings, the headliner at this event also happens to be on that building champions roster that you will see here momentarily in this championship game. That's outfielder Grant Westfall, the nation's 4th-ranked player, the number 1 player in Kansas out of Blue Valley. Here's my conversation with Grant in this edition of In the Spotlight.
In the spotlight with Grant Westfall, the number 1 player in Kansas in the class of 2027, now 4th nationally. Grant, man, good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
A year ago, 16th in the class. Fast forward, now you're number 4. What's the biggest difference in you as a player in the last year?
I mean, I think in the off season, I really just kind of honed into my training. Working out 4 or 5 times a week. Just trying to develop the power side to my game. And then making small adjustments with my swing to kind of ease out deficiencies I had there, kind of elevated my game to another level than what it was last year.
Okay, so you kind of took me in a direction I was going to go, because there's that mental training, physical training, recovery. You talked about the physical training. How are you kind of filling those other buckets to be the player that we end up seeing on the field?
I think if I'm making a small adjustment, I can't get too wrapped around it. Like, I was hitting with Jackson Nicholas one time, and he told me it's scientifically proven it takes like 21 days to make an adjustment. So I kind of like wrap my head around that idea and seeing like if I'm making an adjustment, results aren't going to come right away. You kind of just have to trust in the process and keep working through those problems that you have and kind of work to that bigger goal of becoming the best player I can be.
So how do you translate that into other parts of your life? Because I know sometimes it's not as easy when you have like that structural discipline. It's not just about baseball. How have you taken that to other parts of your life?
I mean, it's kind of just a mindset, like to relax and kind of enjoy everything. You can't take things for granted, and if it's not your day, it's not your day. But you just got to kind of reset and try to enjoy everything you can.
Also a wide receiver on the football side of things. I saw Kevin Pillar recently said that being an outfielder and a wide receiver, he plays outfielder with a wide receiver mentality. How do you kind of feel like those sports and those positions in particular help each other?
I think playing wide receiver and playing football helped me become a better competitor overall, and just kind of gave me another side of confidence. Like, if I'm competing at the hardest level I can. And that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Do you see correlations though in terms of tracking the ball and being able to take the efficient route to get to it?
Yeah, I think so. Like when you're tracking the ball over the shoulder and that stuff, balls and gaps are a little easier because I'm used to it, and there's not as much downtime. Whether it's cold weather season, we're still out playing football, so I'm kind of getting my reps in, even though it's not baseball.
This upcoming season of Blue Valley is going to be a change for you. Your brother Grady now on his way to Texas. Mm-hmm. First time you guys will have that experience at the high school level of not playing with one another. What's that going to be like for you?
I think we're going to lose a big leader in Grady in our senior class, but we came into last season with some question marks, and we had some guys really step up and fill those roles. So I think it's just going to be another year like that. We're going to have a lot of guys step up in important roles and play pivotal parts in our journey to the state championship.
Little brother may take some beatings along the way from big brother, but I think little brother always gets a little bit longer leash from mom and dad. So from the sports side of things, what's been different for you that maybe your brother's like, well, they didn't let me do that?
I think these travel tournaments, like Grady had to go through it first, and I've kind of gotten to see his experiences through that. And with recruiting, it's changed a little bit, but I got to see how Grady went through that process, and I think that kind of gives me an upper hand on what to expect come August 1, and that's kind of just what I've benefited from seeing all that.
Awesome. Well, Grant, man, thank you so much. Cannot wait to see what's next for you. Make sure you follow LakePoint Sports on all our social media channels. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube, and you get so much more happening here on campus.
The on-field action is just part of the offerings here at LakePoint Sports, where we offer a best-in-class experience, and that includes access to testing and player performance data that is redefining evaluation and recruiting. Located here on campus, Curve Test Center gives athletes an unprecedented look at how they measure up through its ball, body, and brain approach to testing. Let's go inside the Curve Test Center. You can test your athletic, cognitive, and baseball skills with TrackMan, Proteus, and more. You can visit the Bubble here on the LakePoint Sports campus or go to curvetestcenter.com. Don't miss this chance to level up your game. We are slated for an 11:55 first pitch here between 643 DP Hawkins and Building Champions in the 16U National Championship Final. Going to take a quick break in studio. When we return, we'll bring you the Windscreen Factory starting lineups.
You gotta find your people, the ones that make you feel alright, the kind you wanna stay up with all night.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
And here is our starting lineup presented by the Windscreen Factory. 643 DP Hawkins will be led off by first baseman Luke Donaldson. Then it's DH John Walker Brown. Hudson Will, the right fielder, hitting third. Hitting fourth is center fielder Grant Durrell. Hitting fifth is shortstop Ethan King. Then it's left fielder Quinn Brown. Jackson Lewanowitz is catcher, hitting seventh. Shane Murphy, the second baseman, hitting eighth. Hitting ninth is Hayes Stevens, the third baseman. Owen Tarantino, the right-hander, will be on the mound. Meanwhile, for Building Champions, Grant Westfall, the extra hitter, leading off, followed by Andrew Maltzby. Then it's Cameron Miller, the third baseman. Carter Taldo, the center fielder, hitting fourth. Drake Blasi, right fielder, hitting fifth. Hitting sixth is Warren Robertson, who will also be on the mound. Drew Pittman, shortstop, hitting seventh. Hitting eighth is JT Moorhead, the catcher. Hitting ninth is Aiden Acosta, the first baseman. Tucker Gamet, the second baseman, hitting 10th. And hitting 11th is right fielder Owen Hughes. Again, slated for an 11:55 first pitch. Just waiting for the teams to take the field in this one, and we will be excited to bring you our coverage of the 16U National Championship Final from LakePoint Sports. We'll join you in studio as soon as we can with first pitch here from the Baseball Village.
2, 1.
Welcome back, Cory McCartney, now joined by Prep Baseball Georgia's Ian Smith. Ian, been a while, man. I know you have been running like crazy these past few weeks across these national championships, and an exciting but unexpected matchup here for the title.
Yeah, man. A huge run here from the Tigers, beating a bunch of good teams to get there. I think they took out the number 1 or 2 seed in Richmond, and then obviously beating the MPI champions here in the semis in the 643 Cougars. Obviously, kind of big brother to them a little bit, being the main team for them, and to beat them in the semis to get to the championships, huge. Playing with house money here, it's kind of scary. You can always win with that.
Yeah, you hate to say David versus Goliath, but I think the reality is you got 5 players in total on this Hawkins team here, ranked in the state of Georgia. They took down a team that had multiple future gamers on it in 643 DP Cougars, and you mentioned them taking down Rawlings Braves to get to this point. We see a ground out there to start things off, and now they got their work cut out for them against building champions who were 15U national champions.
I know.
A loaded roster, and they present a major challenge for 643 DP Hawkins.
Yeah, and the pitching that Building Champions has gotten in bracket play this weekend has just been tremendous. Hayes Pratt started yesterday morning to open bracket play, went complete game shutout. Cameron Miller last night in the quarters went complete game shutout. This morning, Brandon Borberg went 6 2/3 with 1 run. The pitching has just been phenomenal. It's coming from everywhere. The bats have got hot at the right times. They put a bunch of crooked numbers up in innings this week, and they're playing really good baseball. And obviously, they want to come out of this with a repeat championship. Obviously, try to go 3 straight here, win it 15, 16, and then bringing it back next year would be a crazy run. So I know they're looking for this one big time.
They got Warren Robertson out of Rockhurst, Missouri on the mound. He'll be back at the end of July for the 2025 future games. He's the second-ranked outfielder in Missouri, 11th overall in the class, facing John Walker Brown. We just saw Luke Donaldson ground out. Brown out of Lassiter.
Yeah, Robertson came in to get the last out in the semifinals last game, punched out probably my favorite hitter of the week to win that game, which was pretty impressive. So to see him jump back out there and start this one is good to see.
Swing and a miss, goes down on strikes.
2 quick outs there for Robertson there.
So Donaldson grounds out, John Walker Brown strikes out, and now here is Hudson Will. Hudson Will, a bit of a fixture here at LakePoint Sports, obviously playing for 643. I've also seen him multiple times here on campus playing for Cherokee High School.
Exactly.
Was a 2023 junior feature gamer, 2-time top prospect games attendee.
Smoking that first pitch there.
Yeah, sure does. 85.9 off his bat, and that's going to be down. Hudson Will making his way to second base. He's going to hold there. No. Hudson Will's trucking to third base. He's going to have himself a 2-out triple and exact. Oh, is he going to hold? Oh, he's got to pass through on the ball, and he's going to take home plate in 6-4-3. DP Hawkins got something to be excited about, a 1-0 lead very quickly over Building Champions.
Hudson Will's always going to bring the energy, and then with a moment like that, I think that it's going to be quite infectious for that dugout now. I think they're going to be really fired up for that moment. Obviously, you take a one-run lead in the top of the first is always going to be the best way to start a baseball game, but to do it that way with a triple and pass ball and probably one of your best hitters to lead it off for you guys is going to fire up the whole squad.
Yeah, errant throw, and he just was absolute energy making his way to home plate, and that'll turn it over to Grant Durrell now, with 6-4-3 DP Hawkins up 1-0 in the first.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see that.
Durrell,
see how Robertson comes back here after giving that up.
Durrell out of North Paulding High School here in Georgia.
The depth that North Paulding has is just so insane. Just guys after guys after guys.
Robertson's got a 1-1 count now in Durrell.
Oof.
I got a piece of his catcher. It's JT Moorhead behind the plate. He's going to need a minute here. Moorhead has logged a ton of innings in this tournament behind the plate for Building Champions.
And doing a great job at it as well. These are always the worst. Just pain tolerance, but still, it's no fun.
Well, Moorhead, 9th-ranked catcher in Missouri, 65th overall. He's down momentarily. We're going to take a quick break here in studio, see if we can return to game action here, give JT Moorhead a couple seconds here to recollect himself.
You gotta find your people, the ones that make you feel alright. the kind you want to stay up with all night.
IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
JT Moorhead's ready to roll once again, and so are we here with 2 down, a 1-2 count now against Grant Jarrell. Warren Robertson on the mound, a 1-0 lead for 6'4" 3DP Hawkins.
Robertson living off that slider a lot here in the first inning, getting some swing and miss, being able to land it, miss there, but quality pitch.
Misses, count will be full. 2 down, we've seen a punch out already from Robertson. We've seen a ground out, and then we saw a triple that winds up allowing a run to score off a pass ball, and now he issues a walk here to Jarrell, and that'll bring up Ethan King.
Missing glove slide a little bit there. Probably overthrowing a bit, trying to get out of this inning there, just trying to fit one over the plate and get a rollover, but just missed a little bit inside.
So many of the guys on that 6'4" 3DP Cougars team that we just saw are on their way to future games.
Yes.
Amari Griffin in particular, among them, was on the mound in that one. What was your expectations for those guys coming into this event? Obviously, a lot of these guys have already accepted their future games. Oh, they're going to get him down.
Moorhead.
They got him at second base. JT Moorhead bounces back from getting hit on that ball, and he's got the throwdown to get the runner and bring it into the half an inning. We'll come back with that conversation and more. We'll be back shortly from LakePoint Sports.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
Hot summer days call for cool adventures in Cartersville Museum City. Beat the heat indoors with jaw-dropping exhibits at Tellus Science Museum and the Savoy Automobile Museum. Hit the water at Terminus Wake Park, kayak the Etowah River, or head to Lake Allatoona for fishing, boating, and unbeatable lake days. When the sun sets, head downtown for live music, delicious eats, and local flavors. From family fun to date nights, summer memories start here. Plan your trip today at cartersvillemuseumcity.com.
Welcome back to LakePoint Sports. Cory McCartney, Ian Smith with you. A 1-0 lead already for 6'4" 3DP Hawkins over building champions. And mentioned the charmed run that this 6'4" 3DP Hawkins team has been on. They went 4-1 in pool play, and that included a no-hitter at the hands of top-tier 2027 American and Camden Bohm, future gamer out of Florida. They would go on in bracket play to beat building champion 16U Navy, top-tier Indiana 16U American, and the top-seeded Richmond Braves Platinum to set up that matchup with 6'4" 3DP Cougars. And, I was talking a little bit about it before the break there. 4 future gamers on that 6'4" 3DP Cougars team, a 2023 future gamer. Those guys were absolutely loaded. I know you had your sights on that squad in particular going into this one. You guys have spent a lot of time with that group. How good was the team that they just took down?
I mean, as good as it gets at this age group. Obviously, MPI champions back-to-back. You mentioned the future gamers on that team. The pitching depth that they have is immense. Obviously, they ran this first game in the semifinals with the Tigers-Cougars. A lot of walks early for the Cougars kind of put them in a bad spot, and some timely hits for the Tigers really just kind of put the game away early, and the Cougars fell a little bit flat. They've played a ton of baseball this summer. It's been a lot. So I know that team is probably a little bit gassed at this point. They've played, like I mentioned, a bunch, but it's always going to be an upset when you see a team like that go down with the type of talent that they have. And I think they gave up 6 or 8 runs all week before that. So it was impressive to see the Tigers put up 7 in in a big semifinal game.
Well, they got a tough task here. Grant Westfall, the number 4 player in the nation, in class of 2027, number 1 in Kansas, steps in here, and he's got a 1-2 count. And I know he has just impressed you so often with that swing over this last week.
I mean, it's been two years in a row now, or just every look at Westfall has been really good. The swing has gotten even more impressive. He's compact. He gets to his power often. He's added a lot more physical. He's added a lot more strength to the frame. Probably 6'3", 200 pounds now. He's running extremely well. He had 11.9 home to third triple yesterday. Multiple 95-plus EVs. The approach is just so good from pitch 1 to 2 strikes. Obviously, getting the K there is huge start for the Tigers there, getting him swinging on the breaking ball. But the approach has been consistent. He's walked a ton this week. He's hit balls hard. He's used the whole yard. Even when he's not barreling balls, he's been getting on. Another guy here, Andrew Maltzby, leading the whole tournament in hits right now with 13. Has came through consistently all week long in this 2-hole. He's played all over the diamond as well for this team. It's been a really good week for him. Another guy is going to be a future gamer here in just a few weeks, making the trip back down here after a good run this week.
Yeah, Maltzby, the 9th-ranked player in Missouri in 2027. He's the 35th-ranked catcher in the nation. And one thing that stuck out to me, go back to Westfall, is an interview that I showed a little bit ago during our pregame with him. The maturity and composure out of him is now through the roof. Like a year ago, I think he was still finding himself. He's very sure of who he is on and off the field, and it absolutely shows.
Yeah, he's growing into the guy he needed to be. Obviously, you saw it last year, and you saw the star potential, and you knew that he was going to become a household name overnight, essentially, and he's really grown into a top 5 player in the country. And with that makeup, it only strengthens the profile. It's something I really value when scouting is the makeup and things like that. I've been talking to it a ton this weekend with pro scouts and college coaches about the makeup and just about how guys are, because it matters now, especially in this landscape with the new 34.
Yep.
Like, you want to have a guy who's going to come into campus and be a guy who's going to be there and be a guy who helps the roster, you know. So I think having that makeup is going to be massive for a lot of these guys as they move into probably their most pivotal summer of their career.
Well, Maltzby popped out to second baseman Shane Murphy, and Owen Tarantino out of Hillgrove.
2 great outs to start the game there.
Yeah, has got off to a very quick start. The 5'10", 170-pound righty out of Hillgrove.
Cameron Miller here at the plate has been huge this week for this building champions team. I think he won MVP a few weeks back at the Super 16 in Kansas City, which was big. And then, like I mentioned earlier, went complete game shutout yesterday in the quarters. Has came through with a bunch of timely hits and an RBI knock in the semis today. So he's really just done a lot for this team and continues to fill roles as he moves into a big-time summer.
Yeah, a guy that's got a fastball up into the upper 80s, also pushes exit velos north of 92 at the plate. See what he does here with a 1-1 count. He rips that down the right side.
That's a hit.
And that's going to be down for a hit. Our camera did not catch up with us, but Miller's on his way to second base, and he will be in there with a 2-out double.
Little backside knock, like I mentioned, just consistently coming through with the big moments. Obviously, 2 outs. You want to start a little rally here. Get Carter Taldo up to the plate, who's been smoking baseballs this weekend as well. I think he's due for a big time shot possibly today. He's been hitting it right at guys a few times, so I think we can potentially see him get into one.
The thing about this building champions lineup is it's just relentless. You look up and down and it's just dude after dude. And I think that's why what we saw Hudson Will do in that first AB for 6-4-3 is just so big. You got to put pressure on these guys. You know they're going to get theirs.
Oh, yeah.
But can you put pressure on them?
I've watched them put 5-6 spots up in an inning multiple times this week. I think they punched the hit dogs in the mouth yesterday in the first. I think they were up 6-0 after the first on like 7 hits. So everybody's hitting. They all use the whole field. They're gonna go backside. They're gonna take pitches where they come. They're gonna hunt their spots, and it's just a very well coached. I mean, just a deep organization. It's a good spot there.
Counts now 2-0 here to Carter Taldo out of Olathe West High School in Kansas. He's the 15th ranked player in that state. It's a 6'8", 260. The other thing I've been floored by watching these guys is every one of them is north of 6 foot, and they can all run.
No, yeah. They all can run. They all can throw. We might see some position players hop on the mound today and be 88, 90. You know, like it's just it's crazy depth. They've been playing together for a long time. They know how to win. They know how to battle back from adversity, which I think is huge for a travel organization, especially in a tournament like this when you got to play 9 games. You potentially have to play 3 games in a day in bracket, you know. So it's big time to have that to have that relationship with your guys and be able to come battle back.
All right, Taldo draws a walk. So now there's going to be runners at first and second as Drake Blasi now steps in. And
Drake's been taking some big hacks this week.
yeah, we've been waiting for Drake Blasi to just pretty much just show up wearing a tank top. Guy is absolutely jacked, 5'11", 202. Can step in with 2 down.
Some big-time juice on the left side as well for Blasi.
This matchup, too, I know you and I love these super teams. We love when Canes National rolls up in their bus and they bring up just an entirety of guys that are, top-ranked players across the nation. There is definitely something to be said about groups that stay together, stick together, win together, and we're seeing that with these two squads
No
today.
doubt, man. It's my favorite thing to see in travel ball. Obviously, you want to play with the best teams and you want to win, but when you win with your guys that you've been playing with since 12U, it just matters just a little bit more, I feel. That ball got away.
It sure does. Runners will both advance. Is he going to hold at third?
Oh,
they got him at second base, man. Everything just keeps breaking the way of 6-4-3 Tigers, and they've got a 1-0 lead, and
That's
they leave a
huge.
runner stranded for building champions. We'll be back with more from the 16U National Championship Final.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
With its unbeatable power and its versatility, the Eminence 605 grill from Atlanta-based Monument Grills lets you grill like a pro. Learn more about the Eminence 605 and their other grills at monumentgrills.com.
Welcome back to LakePoint Sports. 6-4-3 Tigers leading 1-0 over building champions in the finale of the 16U National Championship. Cory McCartney, Ian Smith with you. Got Ethan King at the plate right now for 6-4-3 DP Tigers. And it's hard to not get caught up in this. We've seen one inning, and we have seen 2 big breaks go the Tigers' way.
Yeah, I mean, it's baseball, and you get those breaks early, it gives you momentum. They score a run or 2 here. That's going to really change things in this game. It's going to put a ton of pressure on building champions. Being down early, obviously being down a run now already is going to put some pressure on them. But a couple hits here will be big, and look at that.
Yeah, that one is down for a base hit for Ethan King. So the Wesleyan 2027, it starts things off. Got a little bit dicey in that throwback, but he's back in time, and now Quinn Brown will step in with a runner on.
The bat to ball from 1 through 9 from this Tigers team this week has been impressive. They're just taking what they get. They're not trying to do too much. You're not trying to see guys sell out for power. They're going to poke balls in the left. They're going to ground balls through the middle for an RBI. Just doing, like I say all the time, just doing a job. And I think that's what this team is. And look at that, 2 on now. Hit by pitch there.
Wow, so they'll quickly have 2 runners on, and the number 23 seed in this tournament just keeps putting pressure on, and they're doing it again against one of the, I think, favorites going into this event and building champions.
We have no hit by pitch.
All right, so he's coming back. Runner will stay at second, though.
So it'll just be a pass ball there. So runner in scoring position here. No outs. Again, perfect way to start an inning here for the Tigers.
Miss outside.
And
Count
we're
now 2-0 here.
2-0 is blue. Excuse me. I was looked up there too early.
Yeah, so right now we're about 10 seconds
Okay.
behind the scoreboard. These are AI cameras, so unfortunately The magic of technology has us just a little bit back. Now it's going to be 3-0. He just misses low.
Yeah, that's
Robertson
a tough spot there. That was close there.
After Brown, it'll be Jackson Lewanowitz, the catcher.
Quickly making their way through the lineup here.
Yeah, they're batting 9. Building Champions is batting 11. That's in for a strike.
Chance to get back to the top here in the second.
Now a 3-1 count here to Quinn Brown.
That's down.
Loops that in the left field, and that's going to be down for a base hit. Runner will make his way to third. Brown is going to hold it first. They're going to have him at the corners with nobody out.
Just doing a job, taking what you get, poking that in the left backside, not trying to sell out, not trying to swing through pitches. 3-1 pitch, you're going to get something over the plate. He's not trying to walk you there. That's a great piece of hitting.
That'll bring up Jackson Lewanowitz out of Alexander, 2027 catcher, second baseman. He's behind the plate for 6'4" Tigers.
Big spot here. Building Champions needing out badly. We saw when the runner's on base last inning for Robertson, he started missing a bit, so could be looking for something over the plate here.
That one is driven into right field. Got him on the run. Makes the catch in foul territory. Runner will tag up. The throw home is going to be laid in. 6-4 3 Tigers now have themselves a 2-0 lead here in the second.
Station to station baseball. It's going to play.
So 6-4-3 jumping out to that 2-0 lead. A surprising one here over Building Champions, and that will now bring up Shane Murphy, the second baseman. Murphy out of Westlake High School.
Yeah, the confidence is high in this Tigers team right now.
Seeing Robertson right now, I know you've been here pretty much the entirety of the last week for this. And this is such a big event because these are so many of the kids that we're going to see here at the end of this month. It's just July now, by the way.
Yeah.
For the feature games. Tell me a couple arms that have really stood out to you across the event.
I mean, Pennsylvania. I mean, the entire state of Pennsylvania this week has really made a statement. There's going to be. I'm going to write a ton about it here in the next few days. But Chris Grosso might have been my favorite arm of the week so far. Pennsylvania righty, 6'2", 210. Really good fastball, really good breaker, spinning up to 2,800. Went 4 perfect the other day with 8 punchies. Really looked good. Cole Kuhn, another Pennsylvania arm, was 92-95 from a low 3/4 slot, which was absolutely ridiculous. Ryder Concannon, an arm out of Michigan for the Motor City Hit Dogs, was big this week. It was 20 inches of vertical ride, over the top slot, up to 88-90 with a good breaking ball. I mean, there was a ton of good arms this week. Jackson Hornick, another Pennsylvania arm, was really good, up to 93. Strike him out, throw him out here potentially.
Oh, just misses it on the tag. It makes his way into center field, and runner will advance to third. So now up 2-0. Another break goes the Tigers' way.
What do you know? Runner on third, 1 out.
Yeah, Shooter Hunt loves it telling me that for whatever reason, arms in Pennsylvania just develop a little bit later, and it sounds like they had a lot of guys popping.
Yeah, I mean, this week was huge. I think that group, the 27 group in the state, is tremendous. Obviously, a guy, Leo Knockley, not an arm, but a bat for Northeast Pride, who made the semis this morning. Might have been the most impressive player of the week outside of a few Georgia bats.
Man, Murphy gets that down. Shane Murphy's got himself an RBI. He's going to make his way back to first.
And we are
3-0 here. The Tigers are leading, and they are absolutely feeling it up over Building Champions in the second.
Just hitting it where somebody's not.
Go out here and have a second to regroup.
Nothing hit very hard today, but everything's hit in the gaps.
And this
dropping in front of outfield.
This is a position Building Champions has just rarely found themselves in over the last week. On Thursday, they played Canes Midwest Gold, and they were a tight one there. They ended up winning 9-8. But after that, they beat Watica Baseball 9-0. They take down API Cavaliers 10-0. They are 6-2 winners over Great Lake 2027s and 10-0 over Team 24 Black. Those games on Monday. Then the bracket play games, they beat SCP 2027 National 6-0. Ironbridge Showcase 7-4, and as you mentioned earlier, Motor City Hit Dogs took it to them 6-0, and earlier today, 4-1 win over Northeast Pride. They have rarely been put in a position where they have to fight their way back, but
Yeah, I
that's
think
the storyline now.
If there's a team that can do it, it's potentially this building champions team. Like I said a few times already in this broadcast, like the way they've put up 5 or 6 runs in with the quickness in innings has happened often this week. So you can't really count them out at this point. Obviously, 3 runs is huge in the early innings, possibly 4 runs here.
Hayes Stevens drops one down, and now we'll have him at first and second, and they are piling up the hits. Now make it 4 already here in the second. 5. Make that 5 actually here in the second.
And we are back to the top of the lineup as well.
Yeah, Luke Donaldson now as we are back to the top of the order. They are very quickly back to the number 1 hitter out of River Ridge. I believe that's not correct.
No,
that's Matthew Lazarus.
Yeah,
so Matthew Lazarus was actually not on the lineup that I was given.
Maybe they had a little late switch.
Yeah, they must have had a late switch because now we've got Lazarus, who was actually Lazarus is actually the 10th. So they actually scribbled somebody out, put him off to the side there. So that's what you get.
Yeah.
So Lazarus is actually the last batter in the order. So
okay.
Lazarus will now hit out of Greater Atlanta Christian, 36th ranked shortstop in Georgia, 157 overall in the class.
Had a really good spring. Has had some good performances this summer as well. Stood out for a few of our scouts. And
Pass ball, runners will both advance.
This has been a nightmare start here for building champions here in this one, but like we said, very early still. Chance to get out of this 3-0, I believe, here.
Does that ever surprise you? And you mentioned with Robertson that he looked a lot stronger before he had runners on. How different guys can be when they have to pitch from the stretch?
Yeah, just maybe they're not comfortable. It's just a guy. They don't pitch all the time. Potentially, you don't see him in these situations often, especially and the pressure of the moment is going to be there as well. Obviously, this is a championship game. It's going to make things a little bit more heightened for this situation. But yeah, it's can be a scary sight for some guys.
Lazarus skies that
Might
down the
stay
right
in.
side, and that is going to go foul.
Out of play.
Back when Julio Teheran was pitching for the Braves, he switched entirely from the windup to the stretch. And remember him saying at the time, it's like, look, I'm going to end up pitching from the stretch a lot. So you might as well just do it all the time.
Yeah. And there's certain guys that come up just throwing out the stretch growing up. Like there was somebody like a Reed Worley who threw stretch only for up until his junior year, and then he moved into the windup. But then when you get in a situation where you have to be in the stretch, you have comfortability into it, and that's into the game.
Yeah, Lazarus is going to punch that down the right side, 94 off his bat, and he's going to have an RBI. That one's going to get away from the pitcher and the throwdown, and here comes another run as Lazarus advances to second, and now it is all of a sudden 5-0 Tigers here in the second.
This is a development.
This is absolutely stunning. I mean, I guess we got to stop being stunned with what this
Tigers
Tigers
team
can do.
doing it. Like you win 9 games. I mean, you win 9 games. That was the hardest hit ball they've had in 2 innings at 94 off the bat of Lazarus. So they're starting to swing it. They're seeing the pitches extremely well right now. Everything they're seeing out of the hand, timely hits, putting it in the right spot, and that's going to be it for Robertson.
All right, a pitching change for building champions. We'll tell you about the new arm when we come back. 6-4-3 DP Tigers up 5-0 over building champions.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
You gotta find your people, the ones that make you feel alright. The kind you wanna stay up with all night.
Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Ian Smith with you. 5-0 is the lead for 6-4-3 DP Tigers over building champions. And Grant Westfall will be on the mound now as we Mentioned he was an extra hitter to start things off, and now the #1 player in Kansas in 2027 and 4th nationally steps on the mound here, trying to limit any more damage here for Building Champions team that has itself surprisingly down 5-0.
And Grant's brother Grady, one of the most impressive pitchers I've seen over the last few years, Texas commit, was spinning breaking balls in the rain last year at MPI, like 3,400 RPMs, up to 95 as well. So hopefully a little bit of that pitching background will rub off here for Grant in this one.
Well, he's got the top of the order. Luke Donaldson, his first pitch spikes, and Lazarus will advance to third. This has just been turned on its head
early.
Very early, as you mentioned. Yeah, that's just the top of the second inning, and already 6-4-3 DP Tigers have taken a commanding lead in this one. They have 5 runs on 6 hits. Leadoff hitter Luke Donaldson up.
Oof.
Donaldson sends that foul.
That was almost another backside hit there.
Donaldson out of River Ridge, 2027.
River Ridge with a couple 2027s that have a chance to be really good. Obviously Donaldson, another one. Hunter Hollier, a guy who stood out for us at top prospect games. East Cobb Yankees player.
Right. Donaldson skies that foul. Right. So we've talked a little bit about the number of future gamers that you guys have had in action today for Georgia. I feel like you guys kind of have a little bit of a built-in advantage here with the amount that obviously you guys are going out scouting all the high school games. Is that one is going to go to shortstop and Pittman will throw home? Did they get him? He's going to be safe. He gets away from the tag of JT Moorhead, and Donaldson's going to be standing at first base. Make it 6-0 here in the second.
Literally everything going the Tigers' way early in this one. Can do no wrong.
Just, I think hands on hips there as Grant Westfall standing. I mean, that's pretty much all you can do if you're Building Champions right now. It's
2 strikes.
Nothing's going your way.
This is tough. It's going to be in everybody's brain now. Obviously, these are still kids. Overcoming adversity is going to be tough, and that misses inside.
It's John Walker Brown back up for the second time. He's 1 for 1. Or excuse me, 0 for 2. Oh, it's on the scoreboard. They added him a 1 for 1, and then it switched to 0 for 2. But he's got a 2-0 count now with 1 down. Westfall on the mound. 6-0 lead for the Tigers.
Duck's still on or runner's still on for the Tigers as well.
One's going to miss. But as I was saying, you guys have obviously the scouting you do across the state here for the high school season, but you have the advantage of everybody coming to you.
No, yeah, it's definitely good. Obviously, having everybody here in the first few weeks of summer is big time. Top prospect games is a huge identifier for us as well. We had one of our most successful events this summer. Over 180 underclassmen showed out. So that was impressive to see. So, yeah, it's been nice to have us. Having teams like come in every week and you can get multiple looks on guys is big. Obviously, you see them in the high school season, but sometimes you don't get to see all the looks you need to see. So being able to see these guys in, your backyard every day is pretty nice to see. And Hudson Will here is a guy coming up here. Big spot, 2 runners on, already with the triple and runs scored.
He jumps on the first pitch from Westfall, and that one goes back foul.
You can see it. Confidence is oozing throughout this Tigers lineup, man.
They've got runners at first and second. Luke Donaldson at second. John Walker Brown at first. Hudson Will had that triple, then scored off the pass ball.
Oh, good pitch.
Westfall drops that in for a strike. Counts now 0-2. Wilderness squats in. Counts now 0-2. Westfall misses glove side.
Yeah, this could be a huge at bat here for both teams. Getting the out would be massive. Just calm things down, get 2 outs, have a chance to get out of the inning. A knock here from Will could just send things over the edge for this Tigers team. And runners on second.
Gets away from Moorhead, throws down to third on the bounce back, and luckily for him, it came back in time, but runners will both be safe. just like they drew it up, right?
Yeah, and just having, also for this Tigers team, you're up 6 runs. It's a championship game. You come into this game with a ton of pressure on you. Now all that pressure is essentially gone. You can play freely. You can just live within yourself here and just play the game. There's nothing to stress about. You have a huge lead. Obviously, you've had this pressure all week long, beating big team, quality teams that we've talked about already. So I think this is just best case scenario. Obviously, 6 runs in the first 2 innings is whatever. But yeah, best case scenario for this Tigers team right here.
Will skies that back foul, counts full.
And just doesn't seem like, I don't know if I've seen a whiff from this team in the last 7 or 8 batters. They're sitting on everything. They're seeing it out of the hand. And they're just hitting it where guys aren't. And it's impressive to see.
Full count here to Will.
And
hits him on the elbow. So now the bases will be loaded as we'll turn it over to Grant Durrell, 4th batter in the lineup.
Not much to say here, but wow.
I think, yeah, that's that's been everything for this team today. It's just been wow after wow, and now they've got a chance to just blow this open with Grant Durrell at the plate, 1 down here, up 6-0 in the second. And they have absolutely put Building Champions in a position where they're going to press. When we get to the bottom of the second, they've got to start to mount some kind of a comeback here. This could go
now,
this could be over in a hurry.
Run rule type of over in a hurry, which is crazy to say.
Comes the 1-0.
Good pitch
That's
there
for a strike.
And for a guy like Westfall, who's an everyday outfielder, you don't really know the last time he's been put in a situation where he's got bases loaded here. Going to have to get out of this. He's going to have to probably go another inning or 2 after this. So this is a big moment for them just to get out of this. Potentially being down double digits here in this inning could be a real possibility. And I think that's a nightmare for any team, obviously.
1-2 count here, Durrell. Bases are loaded, 1 out. Already up 6-0, but this feels like potentially the biggest moment of this game thus far. Grant Westfall gets a strikeout. Now 2 down as Durrell goes down looking.
That's about as big as it's been so far for Building Champions. Probably their biggest moment. Now we go. Getting out of this inning will be massive for this team.
Wesleyan's Ethan King steps in with bases loaded and 2 down. King's 1 for 1.
Westfall working heavy outside, not trying to leave anything over the plate to get hit here.
One 0 count here to King. Misses.
Oh.
Bounce back. Another run will score. Pass ball results in a 7th run for 6-4 3DP Tigers.
Yeah, this is and 2-0 here. Still runners in scoring position. You're going to see something over the plate potentially here. Big moments consistently.
You know that movie Angels in the Outfield where they're out there like, you think that's happening?
This is potentially it. Like they're playing, like I mentioned, house money is real. You're just playing free and you're just making everything happen. And here we go, 3-0. Chance to load them back up here.
Well, 6-4 3DP Tigers opponents may want to collectively come together and have an exorcism here on these fields after this is done. That they've working some magic.
Potentially see a 3-0 swing here. I doubt it with the way these teams playing today, but possibly a 3-0 swing.
Miss high, bases will again be loaded as King makes his way down to first, and Quinn Brown now stepping in. 7-0 lead.
And we're not done.
Pittman going out to have a word with Westfall. Did want to ask you, so we're going to have 2 teams for Texas now for future games.
Okay.
They're having future game trials now as part of their process to put their teams together. Any thought of you guys doing that, or does the fact that everyone comes here kind of alleviate some of those games?
Oh, like a future games trials type of situation? I feel like that might be something we could look for in the future. But with top prospect games and the way we scout their high school season, like Texas is such a wide net that they have to cast there. you probably need 10 guys in the spring to be able to get out and hit every corner of that state. So some of those states it's very necessary to run these trials. We feel like we have a good, probably the first swing and miss I've seen from the Tigers this afternoon. But no, it's a great opportunity. You get everybody under one roof. You can really evaluate. You can compare next to their peers as well, which I think is huge. But yeah, I think it's something we've talked about for sure. Obviously, we're incorporating a super sophomore this year, which is our first time doing that, which is huge for us. Also, with a second Future Games team this year with a North Florida, South Georgia team is big time. Has been fun to really identify those guys, and I think that boat will be something we really need. Maybe a South Georgia Future Games trials will be very beneficial for us in the future because that's a part of the state that really doesn't get hit as much as it needs to, and the talent just continues to produce out of that area. Obviously, with a guy like a Future Gamer last year with Reed Gaines, popped late in his. He came out here early in the summer, was up to 93. I started texting every Power 4 I knew in my phone book. Came out the next week, was 94. Came out the MPI, pitched well there, and now he's heading to a Power 4 school. So they get out of that there. Good strikeout there for Westfall.
And Westfall able to leave the bases stranded, but 6-4 3DP Tigers have scored 6 runs in the second inning to lead 7-0. Wow. We'll be back with more from the 16U National Championship Final.
Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron, Rivera, and then Big Papi.
I have to go Acuna, Chris Sale, Mike Trout, Babe Ruth.
David Ortiz, Ted Williams, Chipper Jones, and Mickey Mantle.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
Hot summer days call for cool adventures in Cartersville Museum City. Beat the heat indoors with jaw-dropping exhibits at TELUS Science Museum and the Savoy Automobile Museum. Hit the water at Terminus Wake Park, kayak the Etowah River, or head to Lake Allatoona for fishing, boating, and unbeatable lake days. When the sun sets, head downtown for live music, delicious eats, and local flavors. From family fun to date nights, summer memories start here. Plan your trip today at CartersvilleMuseumCity.com.
Welcome back, LakePoint Sports. Cory McCartney, Ian Smith with you. Ian, you've seen the movie Freaky Friday before, right? So this is like Wacky Wednesday.
Wacky
here.
Wednesday.
Everything happening for 6-4 3DP Tigers, and Drew Blassie will continue his AB from the bottom of the first inning. We had a throw over from Owen Tarantino that went awry, but then they were still able to throw the runner out at second base and bring it into the inning. And it has just been one of many of the abnormalities that have broken the Tigers' way and helping them lead 7-0.
Yeah, it's been all there, and look, that's not the way you want to start the inning. Swing and miss.
So our second look at Drew Blassie, the 2022 junior feature gamer out of Mays High School in Kansas.
And how do you got to feel it for Owen Tarantino here? You know, you get a 1-2-3 first, or I mean 1-2-3-4 first. Now you got a 7-run lead in the second against a quality team. You can pitch. You can keep a low heartbeat. You don't got to stress out there. It's a moment for him. You can give up some contact. You let your defense work here. This is best case for the squad.
So would you, having been on the mound, would you rather be in this position, or would you rather be in a tighter game where maybe you're trying to pitch to your optimum level as opposed to just being a little bit more free and a little more loose?
I feel like in this situation, when you're playing in a championship game, I think you have to take this 7-run lead with a grain of salt. Like you want to have that comfortability to pitch with now. You can allow something, and you can always lock back in, but just being able to pitch here with being free, not overthinking every pitch. 0-0 game here in the second, you're going to be thinking about every pitch. You miss once, you might overthink that pitch for 4 or 5, and then you give up 3 hits. So here, I don't think he's going to have that in his mind. You give up a hit right here, it's not going to matter. You know, you give up a single, you give up a double, you can bounce back for that. But I think in a close game, you give that up to a team when there's 7 or 8 guys that can hurt you in the lineup. it gets a little bit more scary.
Is it hard, though, to ratchet it in from one way or the other? So if you're pitching a little bit loose and
definitely, for sure. But you just got to try to keep an even keel, the same mindset. But it's hard to do in these situations.
Well, 0-2 count here to Blasi. Thus far, he has thrown 21 pitches.
No.
Comes the 0-2. He's going to get away from his catcher. Count now 1-2. After Blasi, it'll be Warren Robertson, then Drew Pittman. By and large, this Building Champions lineup has stayed the same throughout the event.
Because they keep hitting. This is the first time they haven't hit all week, and there's a quick
third
out
baseman
there.
camps underneath it.
Soft
Hayes Stevens got out number 1. So now Warren Robertson's turn. Robertson at a Rockhurst, second-ranked outfielder in Missouri, 11th overall. Got exit velos north of 101, bat speed of 87.1 miles an hour.
That would be classified as electric, per se.
I love going. I mean, I know it's not complete comparison, but I love going on StatCast and looking at the exit velo and bat speed numbers that the major leaguers are averaging, and then seeing what some of these guys are doing. And it's just like, I get it. A lot of those numbers are done with a metal bat in their hand. These are obviously wood bat tournaments now. But seeing those comparable numbers is just eye-opening. And you go look up at the top there. 101.8 off the bat of Warren Robertson. That's going to be down for a base hit.
That is a frozen rope there. Maybe gets things going for this team. Needed that there. See, like right now for Tarantino, you just gave up hard hit barrel there. Now you ratchet back in. You're still not hurt. You got one down. You roll ground ball right here. You're out of the inning. You're in the middle of the lineup.
Shortstop Drew Pittman's turn, the Blue Valley Southwest.
Drew's been swinging it really well this week, pushing balls off the wall multiple times.
Nice scoop there behind the plate by Lewanowitz. Pittman, the third-ranked shortstop in Kansas. He's 14th overall in the class of 2027, runs a 6.960.
I think one run here for Building Champions in this inning will be massive.
That's a strike, makes it 1-1.
Look at that, painting corners.
So you mentioned before we came on you weren't that familiar with Owen Tarantino out of Hillgrove.
Correct.
What have you liked? I mean, you're seeing. You kind of prefaced it there, right? You're not seeing him in a tight game having to maybe to pitch the exact same way as Pittman skies that into center field, and that will be caught for an out as Robertson makes his way back to first. But what have you liked so far out of the arsenal?
He's throwing strikes with 3 pitches. He's landing stuff on the outer half. He's not letting balls like sink over the middle and get barreled. He's painting corners. He's pitching to his spots. He knows this stuff's not going to overpower kind of guys, so he can just sit there and pitch where he needs to pitch. He's staying low in the zone as well, working to both sides. It's been easy. He hasn't thrown many balls today, I don't believe either. It's been in the zone consistently.
He's got JT Moorhead, the catcher, at the plate now.
Already 0-1. Threw a strike there. Got ahead. You can just fill it up with this type of lead here. Like I mentioned, just continue to throw strikes, make them beat you at this point because you're pitching confidence. Look at that.
Moorhead with a bouncer. His third baseman and shortstop nearly collide. Ball gets away. No one's covering third. And they'll have him at second base there. Yeah, it'll be at first and second off that bobble.
Aiden Acosta here up in a big moment.
Tough play there on that really sharp bouncer, so they'll have him at first and second with 2 outs. Aiden Acosta's turn now. Acosta, Bishop Carroll, Kansas. Third-ranked first baseman in Kansas. He's 32nd overall. Another one of those guys that just has speed, has power.
All-state performer in the spring in Kansas as well as a sophomore, which is huge. I believe there's only a few underclassmen on the team.
First time we've really seen him have to deal with multiple base runners.
Yeah, this is where Tarantino's going to have to work out of something here. Again, a single, you 6-run lead still, but you obviously don't want to give up a hit at that nature. But
nice breaking ball.
Yeah,
Count
really good
will
pitch there.
Still be in the batter's favor. The throwback to second. Did they get him? They got him, and that'll bring it into the inning. Another runner stranded, and some more magic for the Tigers. They lead 7-0. Ian Smith, great job, man. Going to let you go back and watch this one up close and personal. We'll be back with more from LakePoint Sports.
You gotta find your people, the ones that make you feel alright, the kind you wanna stay up with all night.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
With its unbeatable power and its versatility, the Eminence 605 grill from Atlanta-based Monument Grills lets you grill like a pro. Learn more about the Eminence 605 and their other grills at monumentgrills.com.
Hot summer days call for cool adventures in Cartersville, Museum City. Beat the heat indoors with jaw-dropping exhibits at TELUS Science Museum and the Savoy Automobile Museum. Hit the water at Terminus Wake Park, kayak the Etowah River, or head to Lake Allatoona for fishing, boating, and unbeatable lake days. When the sun sets, head downtown for live music, delicious eats, and local flavors. From family fun to date nights, summer memories start here. Plan your trip today at cartersvillemuseumcity.com.
Welcome back, Cory McCartney, now joined by Grayson Rosen as we made our pitching change here in the top of the third inning. Looks like we also have a pitching change as well for Building Champions as they'll now move it over to Evan Loftus. Loftus, Liberty North High School, Missouri, the 9th-ranked right-handed pitcher in that state. He's 28th overall. He'll be here at the end of July for future games, and Loftus got a fastball around 88. He's also got a curveball 73 to 76, a changeup at 78, and a slider in the 71 to 76 range. Third pitcher today for Building Champions, and spent a lot of time already talking about this with Ian Smith, Grayson, but you and I watched Building Champions just put together a dominant performance against Watauga baseball on Saturday, and if you would have told me this game was going to have a 7-0 score in the third inning, I would have expected it would have been flipped.
Yeah, it's definitely been a surprising result to this point, but I think it's really just come down to momentum. This 6-4-3 team has just been riding off momentum for this whole playoff run. Came into this, I believe, the 23rd seed.
Yes.
Going into bracket play and just have totally rode off it. There's a line out there to short for the first out, but I think Building Champions expected to be here, and I think that has – I don't think it hurt them, but I think it helps 6-4-3 Tigers to know that, maybe they weren't expected to be here, but they're here now, and they've done it in such a fantastic way with the teams that they've beat along the way.
Loftus, this is the third time that he's pitched in this event. He's thrown 114 pitches going into this appearance here. His last appearance was 2 days ago against Team 24 Black. He threw 77 pitches over 5 2-hit innings. So we'll see how long he can go. I think at this point, Building Champions just trying to piece it together. But that is, of course, the name of the game when we get this late into this long of an event.
Oh, it's ripped by Shane Murphy on the ground.
Pittman has it, and he will throw over for the second out. If there's anything Building Champions needs right now, is some kind of a stabilizer defensively, because things have just gone an unexpected way. They gave up 1 run in the first inning off of Hudson Will turning a triple into a just emphatic trot home after a pass ball, and then they racked up 6 runs in the second inning.
There's a bunt attempt right there.
Yeah, Stevens gets that down. Third baseman throws Miller, gets him to bring a very quick end to the inning, and that's exactly what Building Champions needs to see Loftus stomping off the ground. We'll be back with more from LakePoint Sports.
Windscreen Factory. More than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Welcome back, Cory McCartney, Grayson Rosen with you. You left, you had no hat on. Now you are back and you've got your hat on. And 6-4-3 DP Tigers have got a 7-0 lead here in the third as Owen Tarantino is out for his third inning of work. And he has been absolutely fantastic so far. 2 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. And just the way that he's ended the first 2 innings. He has a pickoff attempt at second base. They're able to then throw out Carter Taldo at second. And then he has the throw back to second base to get the runner to end the second inning. And just each time, it just feels like everything that could go a team's way has done exactly that for the Tigers thus far.
Yeah, and they're just kind of hoping that it stays that way right now. With the way that you're playing right now, it's just about not getting too in your head, not being too comfortable, but also not, being nervous. And I think they're in a position where they don't have to be nervous, but just got to keep playing good baseball like you have, and you're gonna keep this lead.
Well, it is currently 7-0 as we'll now see Aiden Acosta continue his AB from the last inning. Again, that one ended off a pickoff at second base. So Acosta will be followed by Tucker Gamet and then Owen Hughes. So we've still not made our way through the entirety of this Building Champions lineup yet in the third inning. They just have 2 hits. Nasty breaking ball from Tarantino.
Yeah, I'm interested to see, once we get into that next time through the order for Building Champions, how they feel. How do they look when they come back up? Because it's obviously a little bit deflating to be down 7-0 when you get your second at bat. So that definitely could change a guy's mindset as they come into the box.
1-2 count now to Acosta. Sends that one foul.
We saw Acosta do some great stuff on the base paths in that game on Saturday. He's a guy that you certainly would love to see lead off an inning where you're trying to make something happen.
1-2 count. It's going to miss, makes it 2-2. Ropes that 75.6 off his bat. Center fielder on the run. Makes the catch for the first out of the inning.
Bit of an extended at bat there to start things off for Tarantino, but we'll see if he can just keep things rolling, keep things held together as he has through the first 2 innings of work. Now we're going to get Tucker Gamet at the plate. He did go around on that one, so that's going to be strike 1.
Gamet out of Liberty North High School in Missouri. One of the rare players in this Building Champions team that does not come in with a state ranking. Sends that foul. They in total have 16 players ranked in Kansas and Missouri, 3 with national rankings. That, of course, led by Grant Westfall, the '1 player in Kansas, 4th in the nation. 5 2025 feature gamers. And I mentioned a couple times here, they were the 2024 15U national champions. And they have got their work cut out for them here in the third inning, down 7-0. Gamet has that one in play. The shortstop has it, throws, make that out number 2. So we're now down to Owen Hughes, the last batter in the order here for Building Champions.
Yeah, the good defensive work by 6-4-3 is going to be a big reason of why they're in the position they are right now. You've already talked about the different kind of unorthodox ways they've gotten out of some of these innings, but you've only got one strikeout out of Tarantino, and everybody's really playing their part so far.
Miss high. Got 2 down here in the inning. This is most certainly a position that Building Champions has not found themselves in this tournament. That one's going foul.
Yeah, they've been incredible all the way through in this tournament, and we saw them in the last game just kind of slowly pull away, and then all of a sudden it just felt unattainable. But, yeah, Building Champions, and that one might help you out right there.
That's down for a hit. Does he throw him out at first? No. Gave it a shot, but they'll have a 2-out single.
He really gave that one a try, but good work running that out. Getting a little life from the bottom of the order there with Owen Hughes. Now we get that second look at Grant Westfall at the plate, leading it off.
Westfall struck out in his first trip to the plate here. Watches that one miss high. Another miss high, makes it 3-0. Go out here and have a word with Tarantino.
You definitely want to play your cards right with the top of the order here for Building Champions up, because if you put Westfall on, then you bring up Maltzby and then Miller, and then it's just an onslaught from there with this lineup that you just don't really want to play games with.
And we saw them put up a ton of runs, as I mentioned, in our game against Wattica Baseball. They run ruled that one 9-zip. Will not be the case today. They're going to mount a comeback if they're going to get out of this one with a win. That's going to be a strike, makes it 3-1. (6-4) 3DP Tigers, again, already taken down the #1 team in the bracket, Richmond Braves Platinum. Then they beat their sister program, 6-4 3DP Cougars, in the game before this. Won that one 7-2. And Westfall draws a 2-out walk, so now they'll have runners at first and second as Andrew Maltzby steps in for the second time.
Definitely a great opportunity here, but with just 2 outs, makes things a little bit tougher. We've already mentioned those ways that 6-4-3 has just gotten themselves out of some sticky situations, and this is certainly a situation where you're looking for some kind of defensive breakthrough. A nice little stare down there.
Yeah, yeah. Andrew Maltzby trying to get this Building Champions lineup rolling. He's going to give it to him again one more time. Tarantino drops that in for a strike. He's got runners at first and second, 2 down. Andrew Maltzby at the plate. Does Maltzby hold that position until the pitcher goes?
Seems like it.
Yeah.
Seems
Let's
like
see if he does that again.
Kind of.
So until he actually comes back and gets into a starting spot, Maltzby holds it the whole time, and yep, it's in sync. Size that one foul. Count will be 1-2.
That's an interesting thing. You don't really see that often. It was an intimidation tactic.
I'm ready when you're in. He's holding it the whole time. Like he's not budging from that position until Tarantino goes ball to glove. And yep, now he's ready.
That is so interesting.
Comes a 1-2. Malty puts it in play. Shortstop has it. Can he make a play? It's going to hit off the runner. So they're going to have the bases loaded now with 2 down.
Yeah, that was going to be a close one. I think if he holds on to that ball, it might have been out, but good work by Building Champions to just move the runners one more base ahead. Now you got bases loaded with 2 outs for Cameron Miller.
Miller was the subject of our Barnsley Resort Player Spotlight pregame, and good reason. And now he's got a chance to get Building Champions right back in this game. The bases loaded and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd. Or do the Tigers have some more magic? First pitch goes foul. Westfall standing at second base, getting some stretches in.
You got to be ready to run.
It's been a long event. Stops that from going any further. And when we had Building Champions on Saturday, they had gotten Friday off because of a rainout, but they ended up making that game up as they would end up playing 2 games on Monday. They played Great Lake 2027's National. That was the game they were supposedly going to play on Friday. They had gotten washed out, so they ended up playing a doubleheader on Monday, and now they're playing their second game today. They played 2 games yesterday as well. Usually they played 3 games yesterday. They beat South Charlotte Panthers, Ironbridge Showcase, and Motor City Hit Dogs yesterday. Third baseman has it, tags the bag, and
Get out of it again.
Strand the bases loaded. Building Champions just cannot find a way to break through as 6-4-3 DP Tigers keep having everything break their way. They lead 7-0. We'll be back from LakePoint Sports.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
You gotta find your people, the ones that make you feel alright. The kind you wanna stay up with all night.
Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Grayson Rosen with you. 7-0 is the lead for 6-3 DP Tigers here over Building Champions in the 4th inning of the 16U National Championship Final. Matthew Lazarus back up, puts that one in play. Second baseman has it. That'll be out number 1.
Wow.
Looked like he may have came off the bag, but that will be an out to start things off. Now we're back to the top of the order and Luke Donaldson.
Yeah, that was a tough play over there at first base, but good work to pick it out and hold it down there in the glove and get the out.
Donaldson is 1 for 2. 6-4-3 Tigers have a collective 6 hits so far. Building Champions 3 hits and obviously 0 runs.
Oh, it's a close one right there with the breaking ball. Donaldson having himself a really good day. 1 for 2 with the 2 RBIs, and he scored 2 runs himself.
I mentioned the workload thus far in this event for Evan Loftus, so I think the pitch count is certainly something to monitor for him here. This next pitch will be number 14. He's thrown 114 pitches so far across the tournament.
Quickly at 3-0.
And he'll draw a walk with 1 out. Now John Walker Brown steps in. And now we got, a conversation we did not think we were going to have, but if 6-4-3 can manage to get another run,
You're going to be talking about that 5, the 8 after 5 rule again is going to be in question.
Yeah. It could be in the cards if they can put together some more magic here. They've already got 7 runs in the 4th. Scored 1 in the first, 6 runs in the second. So a shutdown inning from Evan Loftus in the 3rd, but he's already allowed a 1-out walk here as Brown is up for the 3rd time.
Well, that one looked like he threw it low. Yeah, he did. And the runner's going to advance to second base. So there's a little bit of that magic you were talking about. That's the early goings of it potentially.
Yeah, we at the end of each game we put together our Aspen Hospitality Group moment that matters, and Building Champions still has a long way to go in terms of having their say on how this thing winds up. But from the Tigers standpoint, it's moment after moment.
Yeah,
that it could be
every single
together.
moment builds up to the next and then brings it all to some ridiculous culmination, it seems like.
Well, should they manage to pull this off, this feels like it's going to be story of the summer territory for a team that, again, I keep going back to it, but they were the 23rd seed. They got no hit on Sunday.
Yeah, a team that got no hit earlier in the tournament comes out and even just makes this valiant of an effort, even if they don't go on to be the champions of this tournament, getting to this point, having a 7-run lead in the championship game against arguably the most talented team you could find on a field this week. It's unbelievably impressive. And I don't mean to put down 6-4-3 Tigers, but everybody understands the structure of travel baseball here and that they aren't the technical number 1 team for their organization. And the fact that these guys are out here playing their game, playing great baseball, putting themselves out there and putting their talent on display just goes to prove how important it is to just come out here and play as a team and just play with confidence.
Yeah, the team that they beat has 18 ranked players in the state of Georgia on it. They have 5. That kind of tells you about the pecking order here. And you mentioned the number of future gamers on that other 6-4-3 team. 4 for this year, 1 from last year. 20 players ranked in Georgia in that team. So,
well, smokes.
Yeah, sure is. Second base makes the tough grab, though. It's 92.2 off his bat and able to get the runner at second. But one does move 90 feet closer to another run, as we'll now have a runner at third here with 2 outs.
Yeah, it's a big spot here for 6-4-3 if they want to get that 8 after 5 run rule in order. Trying to get that run in now is going to take a lot of stress off you for that top of the 5th.
Well, you'd feel no one better suited to provide it than the guy who has given them so much energy and a moment that I think I'm going to always think about here when we think about this event, and that's what Hudson Will did in his first AB, getting himself a triple and then a slow trot home off the pass throw to third. Gave them a 1-0 lead, and just the energy that he showed making his way down the third baseline was just, you could feel it across the park, and it had his team fired up.
Yeah, it was incredible. Just to hit the first inning triple and give them so much momentum early on was so big for this team. But then, obviously, the throwing error that leaves play, and then he just emphatically trots down to home and puts that first run up on the board is just so big for this team. I think is a huge reason why they had that momentum going into the second inning and just absolutely pieced them up.
The Cherokee 2027's got a 3-1 count now against Loftus. He's the 10th ranked outfielder in Georgia, 40th overall in the class.
Yeah, we're certainly not done seeing Hudson Will around these parts.
Right down the middle for a strike.
He just didn't like that one. It was too perfect, I think.
He is 1 for 1, also has himself a walk. And make it 2 walks for Hudson Will as he trots down to first base. And now we'll get another look at Grant Durrell.
Yet another big at bat here for 6-4-3. And the other question is, do you get aggressive with Will on the base paths and try and advance him to second base just to eliminate that easier force play if he is to put something up the middle?
Durrell 0 for 1. He ropes that. That's going to be down over top the second baseman. Here comes run number 8 for the Tigers. And now it's time to start having that conversation. Building Champions has got to start building some momentum, or this game's going to be over in a hurry.
Yeah, that is absolutely perfect. He simply could not have hit that a different way and it not drop. That was unbelievably well-placed hitting right there. And comes up huge for his team, gives him the 8-run lead. And now the conversation shifts towards what can Building Champions do first here to mitigate the risk.
Ethan King just did it too, by the way. Did you see it?
Yes. But yeah, just trying to play it safe from here on out and stop the bleeding. But also, when you come up here in this bottom of the 4th, try and make something happen. Try and give yourself a little bit of momentum, because when you get into that bottom of the 5th, if you're down 8 runs, your backs are against the wall.
0-1 count here to King. Make that 1-1 off the miss.
Pretty amazing to only see 3 players not in the hit column for 6-4-3.
They're just batting 9 today. Meanwhile, Building Champions hitting 11. Third time we have seen King. He is 1 for 1 with a walk.
I believe we have 10 in the lineup with Lazarus there at the,
That's true.
the bottom
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
so.
you're correct. Yeah, I showed Ian Smith that their roster, the lineup they submitted had squiggles down at the bottom of it, and then he was off to the side of it. So it looked like they were only hitting 9, but they indeed have Lazarus in the order as well. These championship games are a scramble for all of us.
Oh, yeah. That one's on the ground.
Miller has it. That'll end the inning, but Building Champions trail 8-0. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. We'll be back from the LakePoint Sports Baseball Village.
Hot summer days call for cool adventures in Cartersville, Museum City. Beat the heat indoors with jaw-dropping exhibits at TELUS Science Museum and the Savoy Automobile Museum. Hit the water at Terminus Wake Park, kayak the Etowah River, or head to Lake Allatoona for fishing, boating, and unbeatable lake days. When the sun sets, head downtown for live music, delicious eats, and local flavors. From family fun to date nights, summer memories start here. Plan your trip today at cartersvillemuseumcity.com.
Our LakePoint sports photographers deliver at the highest level, taking you inside the action here across campus. Yes, we've got game day covered, and now you can not only see your game through our lens, but you can purchase photos as well. Use the QR code on screen for the latest images. Galleries are uploaded after the completion of tournament and events, and the 16U National Championship photos will be up today, so you can go check those out. So you can head to lakepointsports.com for more information or find more on any of our social channels. Welcome back. Cory, McCartney, Grayson, Rosen with you. Owen Tarantino returns for inning number 4 of work for the Hillgrove right-hander, and he's got Carter Taldo, Drake Blassie, and Warren Robertson.
Yeah, once again there in that 3rd inning, things got a little bit sticky, a little bit scary for Tarantino, but he got himself out. And yeah, we'll see what he's got. Have you guys used any Quentin Tarantino jokes
We have not.
with him yet?
So no, what do you got?
I don't know. I didn't want to try and pull one out and then it already got used.
No.
Okay. I'll start thinking.
Okay. All right. I appreciate that.
It keeps things rolling like he is. We have to use one.
Yes. Yeah.
We need the clip.
Oh, that was pretty sweet.
That was cool. I like that.
Some camaraderie there. You don't get that from these super teams. You gotta know your guys to be able to pull that off.
Yeah, that's something you did at practice.
Yeah. Carter Taldo will step in, trying to get something going for a Building Champions team that has just 3 hits so far and a big 0 in the score column.
This is a guy that's more than capable of it, that is for sure. Just about anybody in this lineup is, but Taldo, an impressive player out of Kansas that is going to look and see if he can get things started here for Building Champions. They need everything they can get right now. Gonna foul that one off.
Yeah, we've seen firsthand what this lineup is capable of. It's just, even when you take capable players, guys who are used to having things go their way, when they're in this kind of a position, everybody presses.
Yeah.
So how much are they kind of, they're out of their norm for this event because they've not been put in this position, and now they have to find a way to make this collective that's very talented try to find a way to piece things together over the next 2 ABs.
Yeah, and you can also just think about the outside factors of a tournament like this in general. I mean, every single one of these players from Kansas or Missouri, and every single one of the players on 643 is from Georgia. Particularly relatively local to us.
And most of them probably slept in their own bed last night.
Yes,
And
exactly. These guys are on their
yeah.
6th day out of town, potentially longer, and that does give you an inherent advantage.
Yeah, certainly something to be said out of sleeping in a hotel and sleeping in your own bed.
There are some hotels where you can find yourself a pretty solid bed, but it's hard to beat home. That one's hit well on the ground.
Yeah, Taldo gets that through. No, it's caught by the shortstop on the
Great
bounce.
play.
It makes a fantastic defensive
Good
play.
stuff right there.
Some great play defensively there from Ethan King at shortstop for out number 1. 93.8 off the bat. Tough bounce. Able to glove it, though, and make the throw to first for the first out.
Yeah, that's impressive defense playing up the middle. He covered some serious ground on a pretty hard hit ball and just makes a great off-balance throw to first.
Drake Blasi stepping back in. Technically, this is his 2nd AB, but it's the 3rd time that we've seen him because we saw an inning end with Blasi at the plate. He's 0 for 1.
How does that get scored officially? Like in the major leagues, if you come up, does that count as a plate appearance?
I don't believe it does.
Okay.
Well, it makes you wonder too if you have. I know obviously from the StatCast end of it. So let's say that you got a swing and a miss on a pitch, and it registers in your StatCast profile, but your AB didn't complete. I'd be interested to know the mechanics of that. Certainly here we're not necessarily tracking how they do against sliders, forcing fastballs, but they are certainly doing that at the major league level. And
yeah, I don't think we have Amazon AWS tracking every single thing that happens here.
Yet. Blasi ropes that. The shortstop gloves that one. 92.6 off of his bat. And Ethan King having the defensive inning of a lifetime here. And Tarantino showing him some love.
Got the courtesy point from the pitcher. Yeah, great
Ethan
stuff.
King unchained.
There we go.
There it is.
Good stuff. There it is.
Warren Robertson up now, and you see that number at the top of the screen. 100.6 off his at bat. And the third baseman makes the play. 3 annihilated baseballs and 3 outs by the left side of the 6-4-3 DP Tigers infield. And, man, they are feeling it on every facet of the game right now as they lead 8-0 headed to the 5th inning of the 16U National Championship. Could be closing time. We'll be back with more from LakePoint Sports.
Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron, Rivera, and then Big Papi.
I'm gonna have to go Acuna, Chris Sale, Mike Trout, Babe Ruth.
David Ortiz, Ted Williams, Chipper Jones, and Mickey Mantle.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
Welcome back to LakePoint Sports, our coverage of the 16U National Championship Final, where 643 DP Tigers have risen up from the 23rd seed to just run the gauntlet and find themselves up 8-0 in the 5th inning of this one, closing in on a championship as they look to deny a building champions team that was 15U national champions. And this game has had everything, and every single ounce of it has bounced the way of 643 DP Tigers, including that last half an inning. We had three balls hit at 90+. You and I looked at the exit velo on that last hit, 100.6, and it's an out.
Yeah, 2 of them straight to the shortstop. One of them a great play up the middle. One of them a well-caught line drive, and then great play at third base to stop that 100.6 from staying inside the foul line and getting into trouble.
Quinn Brown's at the plate. Jackson Lewanowitz will follow, and then Shane Murphy. See if 643 DP can add any more insurance runs. I say insurance as that one is going to be down for a base hit, because the pressure will indeed be on building champions in the bottom of this inning. They've got to keep it at fewer than an 8-run deficit, or this game's over with.
Yeah. Shout out to the bat boy for 643. He's been putting in some work in this game.
He has. They've been. I want to see his pedometer after this one. He is running up those steps. Jackson Lewanowitz steps in, 0 for 1. 8 hits for these 8 runs for 643. That one's going foul. The sum is greater than the parts, and that is certainly being played out here by 643. Is that one's going to get through for another hit?
This seems eerily reminiscent
I tell you
of
what,
the second inning with all the singles to start.
You take a group of kids, people any age, and they come into something with a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah.
And they do so collectively, they can get some things done. And we are seeing 643 do that right now. As they, again, you said it. This was not to demean them. They are not 1A in the pecking order of their own program. They took down 1A to get to this point.
Exactly.
They took down the number 1 team in this tournament to get to this point. And now they've got what you and I are in agreement on is one of the most talented teams in this tournament. And they've got them on the ropes here in the 5th.
Yeah, it's extremely impressive. And something that, like, even if they got to this point and they squeezed out a close, 2-1 victory, it would be impressive. But the way that they just pounced on such an impressive team with impressive pitching and just great players all around just adds to the fire. The fact that they blew out their 1A team in their organization to get to this game, the whole storyline just continues to ride itself for the 643 team.
It has been an absolute treat to watch. Shane Murphy at the plate now. Runners at first and second. Nobody out. After Murphy, we've got Hayes Stevens, then Matthew Lazarus. It's almost fitting that a team has risen up. It's got a guy named Lazarus. There's a 1-1 to Murphy. Ropes that. That's going to be down for a base hit. Is he going to make it all the way home? He's making it to the plate in time, make it 9-0, and that is that key run, because building champions is going to have to build serious momentum as they now trail 9-0 here in the 5th, and there's still nobody out with runners at the corners.
Yeah, this is just incredible stuff from 643, and they just won't stop. They just can't be stopped.
They have 10 hits here in the 5th inning.
Unbelievable. I mean, they started this game, and in that second inning, you start off by 5 of the first 6 batters in that inning hitting singles. And that's how they keep it rolling. That's how they kept going throughout this entire game. It was almost all small ball. We have not seen a lot of extra base hits outside of that one in the first inning from Hudson Will, where he ended up scoring on the throwing error. It's pretty much all been singles, and they're just getting it done. It's been incredible to watch.
That one is skied into right field. Is that going to drop? It's going to go into the glove of the defender, and that'll be out number 1. Still have runners at the corners.
Very interested in the decision to keep Loftus out there on the mound. We talked about his pitch count coming into the game. Pitch count's certainly gotten up there quite a bit here.
43 pitches in this upcoming one. Lazarus is going to step in with 1 out. And he threw 77 pitches on the 30th. He threw 37 pitches on the 26th. So it had 114 in total and 2 appearances coming into this one.
He's thrown another 42.
Yeah, and he's out. He's thrown 2 1/3 so far. Did that hit Lazarus?
I think it got fouled off. Or are they saying it hit him?
I think they're saying it hit Lazarus. I think thinks it hit him as he undid his batting glove.
He's gonna talk to his fellow umpires on the crew, see what they.
Yeah, this of course a 4-man
saw.
crew that you'll see in all of our championship games. So
I unfortunately didn't get their names before this one, but shout out to these guys from United Umpires.
always do a fine job for us.
Just had some footage come out for our umpires on the GoPro this morning. So when you're done here, go check that out if you haven't seen it already. Some good stuff right there. Good editing by producer Mason Monroe.
There you go.
A little bit of a different idea for how we put that one together today.
All right, Lazarus making his way back. His AB will continue. Calling it a foul ball. All right, now we return to action. 0-1 count here to Lazarus. Swings through that slider, makes it 0-2.
That was a big swing right there. Trying to really make something happen here now that they've got a little room to play with. They've got those ever important runs, and now it's just have fun with it.
Comes Loftus with the 0-2. Runner takes off for second.
You go eliminate that double play.
Moorhead will watch him make his way down to the bag, and now a 1-2 count now. Runners at second and third. Loftus blows that by him for out number 2. So Lazarus goes down on strikes. Top of the order now with Luke Donaldson. Donaldson is 1 for 2. He's got 2 RBI, also a walk.
He scored 3 times.
Yeah, 3
in this
runs.
game.
Donaldson first pitch swinging. That one
yeah,
goes down the
that's
right
trouble.
side. He's got himself an RBI. Make it 2. Luke Donaldson trekking into second base as that one gets down in the opening down in right field, and he's got himself a crown rule double. He's starting a lawnmower out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a sizable lead now as Luke Donaldson comes through, man. The lawnmower man.
That is
wow.
Some clutch hitting once again from
11
Luke Donaldson.
to nothing.
Wow.
Luke Donaldson is 2 for 3. He's got RBI. He's got 3 runs scored. He's got a walk. He's got a full line today, and he's got his team up 11-0 here with 2 down in the 5th.
Yeah, I mean, Donaldson's line is incredible in this game. And so huge out of the leadoff spot as well for this team.
Loftus misses low. 4 RBI, 2 for 3, a walk, 3 runs scored.
Unbelievable.
Donaldson out of River Ridge having quite the day. Seen him dance around there at second base. I don't think that I've seen the start the lawnmower double celebration. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. That was good.
Maybe he was just letting his parents know what he's going to do when he gets home.
Yeah, I think he's had a good enough game. I think he's gotten himself out of some chores today.
But does he know we don't have lawnmowers here in the baseball village?
I think he figured it out.
Okay.
We've got him around.
Yes.
Plenty of grass to be mowed.
Just not on these fields.
No, please do not take a lawnmower on these fields. Geo Services would not be happy. Nor would we.
Brown shoots that into left field. Is that going to drop? It's going to be caught for an inning-ending out, but 6-4, 3 DP. Tigers have continued to build on that lead. 3 more played it in the 5th. They have 11 runs. Building Champions going to have to put something together or this game is over. We'll be back with more from LakePoint Sports.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Welcome back to LakePoint Sports. Cory, McCartney, Grayson, Rosen with you. Bottom of the 5th inning, and it's slam the door time now for 6'4" 3DP Tigers. See if they can finish this thing off. It's like Owen Tarantino's day is going to be over. They're going to make a pitching change, and they're now going to go to John Walker Brown. Okay, never mind. Yeah, so they were actually, that was the scoreboard flipped on me. Owen Tarantino's out there. He's going to try to finish this off. Kill Bill, kill Cory. He's out here doing the wrong things in the scoreboard. First pitch swinging by Pittman. That one is shot into center field, and that one will be caught for an inning-ending out. What am I doing?
Inning starting.
Inning starting out. I'm all beside myself here.
First pitch
everything's
out.
Tripping out here.
It's all good.
Wow.
I'm
so perplexed by the fact that we have an 11-zip lead here for 6'4" 3DP Tigers and an opportunity with one down to close this out and become 16U national champions.
It is truly an improbable run.
JT Moorhead at the plate now, and he'll be followed by Aiden Acosta. Moorhead, first pitch, ropes that down the right side foul.
Yeah, I've essentially every time Tarantino is on the mound, I'm sitting here just thinking, okay, is that what movies? Okay, I can't think of a pun for Jackie Brown. I can't think of a pun
we've got
for
multiple Browns though on his.
That's true. There is a lot of Browns. No Jackie Browns on the team. Can't really think of one for Pulp Fiction.
Stranger than Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Rips that back foul.
My personal favorite, can't even say the name of on this broadcast.
Are they Inglorious?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure are.
All right. Comes a 1-2. Oh, and Tarantino just misses.
Oh. So he hit him on the elbow.
Wow. Okay. Did not see that.
I think Tarantino's a little surprised by that one too, but
all right.
They say it skimmed the elbow guard, it looks like.
All right, so there'll be a runner at first in Moorhead as Aiden Acosta steps in.
He just bailed. I think he's getting a pinch runner, but nobody was out there. He just left. I think the hard part about it hitting off the elbow guard is that the catcher still caught it. That's the part that would say maybe it didn't actually end up making contact there, but the call is the call now.
All right, so we got Costa up now, runner at first, courtesy runner for catcher JT Moorhead. Costa jumps on that one, 93.3 off his bat. That's into center field. Now have runners at first and second with one out.
Certainly not unfamiliar territory for Tarantino, but was hoping to certainly get through this a lot quicker for himself. See what he's got for Tucker Gamet.
Tarantino taking a big breath. Ian Smith talked about a pitcher in this situation being able to pitch pretty freely, having this kind of a lead. But I think you almost have to look at it now that you have a 3-0 lead.
Yeah.
And you got to try to hold that up here in the bottom of this inning to try to bring it into this game.
It would take all of these guys scoring.
Well, the way everything has broken 6-4-3's way, we'll see if they've got a little more magic in their back pocket here as they try to finish this one off and become 16U national champions. Drops that in for a strike, will even the count.
Still placing his pitches really well. We haven't really seen much wild stuff out of Tarantino at all in this game.
He's thrown 77 pitches thus far. As we sit in the bottom of the 5th with 1 out. That one is skied 90 miles an hour off his bat.
It's caught.
It is going to be caught for the 2nd out in right field. Runner will advance to 3rd, so they'll have him at the corners with 2 down.
And their last chance comes to the plate.
That'll be Owen Hughes. So it all comes down to Owen Hughes.
If he's to continue and reach safely, then it's on to Grant Westfall, who is exactly who you'd like to come to the plate to try and keep this game alive.
Suffice to say, the biggest pitches of Owen Tarantino's playing career are about to unfold here with 2 down in the bottom of the 5th. His team trying to cement a 16U national championship, and that's in for a strike.
Runner advances to 2nd with no contest.
Hughes is 1 for 1. Misses, but did that hit him as well?
Nobody called it. Umpire didn't call it.
All right, well, Hughes is going to make his way back. Considering we saw a hit by pitch that we didn't actually see, maybe we'll take that. All right, we've got a 1-1 count now here to Hughes. Grant Westfall in the on-deck circle. Sends that foul, building champions down to their last strike.
Tarantino, let's see what he's got. He hasn't been much of a strikeout guy in this game, but no better time than now. Only 1 strikeout through 4.2. See what he does here.
He has been effective, efficient, and tough to square up. And when he has been squared up, his defense has made every play possible behind him. They have building champions down to their last strike here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th, trying to cement a championship and a run rule win. Right down the middle, he brings it into it. Owen Tarantino slams down his glove. 16U national champions. 6-4-3 DP Tigers going on a Cinderella run from the 23rd seed in this tournament. They take down the #1 overall team in Rawlings Braves. They take down the 6-4-3 DP Tigers, and now they have dethroned building champions who came into this one as 15U champs, looking to cement another ring, but they watch instead 6-4-3 DP Tigers celebrate an unexpected national championship run.
It's absolutely unbelievable stuff. What a run for these guys. That is as deserving of a celebration as you will find any tournament here at LakePoint Sports. That was absolutely unbelievable.
Absolute magic. We'll be back with more, so much more, as we bring you continued coverage of the 16U National Championship Final.
You gotta find your people, the ones that make you feel alright, the kind you wanna stay up with all night.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron, Rivera, and then Big Papi.
I have to go Acuna, Chris Sale, Mike Trout, Babe Ruth.
David Ortiz, Ted Williams, Chipper Jones, and Mickey Mantle.
With its unbeatable power and its versatility, the Eminence 605 grill from Atlanta-based Monument Grills lets you grill like a pro. Learn more about the Eminence 605 and their other grills at monumentgrills.com.
Welcome back to LakePoint Sports. Cory McCartney, Grayson, Rosen with you. We just saw an 11-0 win for 643 DP Tigers over building champions in our 16U National Championship final. 643 DP Tigers, the 23rd seed. They were no hit in pool play. They took down the #1 overall seed in this bracket, Rawlings Braves, to get to this point. They took down the sister program in the 643 DP Cougars, the 1A team in that team's hierarchy, to get to this point. Unheralded, maybe the word's underrated, and now undeniable, as they are 16U national championships.
All I can just say is that I'm amazed. It's just like one of those things where you watch it unfold and you almost can't believe it the whole time through, but they just kept doing it. They kept defying the odds. They did exactly what every team that wants to get to this point needed to do, and that's why they earned it. And it was unbelievable to watch, because you don't always get to see a storyline here. Sometimes it's just two really talented programs that bring some guys in from around the country, and they find themselves here. This team defied all odds to get to this point, and it was amazing to watch.
And how often do we get to championship day and you wonder, does a team have pitching left? Are they going to be? Is this going to be a shootout? We ended up getting a run rule victory, and it was not what we expected. They took down a building champions team that had 6 players ranked in Kansas and Missouri with national rankings, led by Grant Westfall, the #1 player in Kansas in 2027, 4th in the nation. They have 5 feature gamers on their team. It did not matter because this 643 DP Tigers team had absolutely every break go their way, and just collectively they just found a way to just keep pouring it on with 11 hits in total.
Yeah, they just kept doing exactly what was needed of them. And in the moments where it felt like they were on the ropes, they just bounced back with a different thing. Owen Tarantino constantly doing things up on the mound, pitched a gem, only struck out 2, and it was a 1 really early in the game, and then the final out of the game. So shout out to Tarantino, shout out to the defense behind him that was just unbelievable.
They gave us an absolute treasure trove of moments to go through as we turn to our Aspen Hospitality Group moment that matters. We start off with Hudson Will, and he ropes this down the right side, and he is off to the races as that's down into the corner. Gets himself a 3-bagger, and he is not going to hold there because an errant throw to third gets through, and Hudson Will just emphatic as he makes his way down the third baseline, and that just summed up the entire day for this squad. He just absolutely had them fired up. Now we move on. Runners at first and second in the bottom of the first inning, and Owen Tarantino's pickoff move goes awry. Picks the ball up, though, and throws it to second base to get Carter Taldo and bring an end to the inning. A frustrating moment for building champions, and now some more magic out of Owen Tarantino as he throws out the runner at second to bring another end to the inning. And just, look, Tarantino just had an absolute day. It was a heroic effort for him on the mound. 4 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts over 5 innings. It wasn't blow you away, wow you stuff.
Yeah.
The dude just got the job done, and we just saw there he did a lot more than just throw the ball.
Yeah, in past just those couple of moments, there was so many more moments. We saw an inning where they had 3 balls hit into that infield at 90+, one of them 100.6. All 3 of them corralled easily, and plays were made. It was a full team effort, top to bottom, by the 643 DP Tigers team.
It was 5 innings of moments that matter for 643 DP Tigers, and ended up with them as 16U national champions. Now for our Publix player of the game, and you could make a case for Tarantino, who, again, a Herculean, heroic effort on the mound against a really talented building champions lineups. You can make a case for Hudson Will, who had that great moment to start things off in the game. But Luke Donaldson ends up going 2 for 3 with a ground rule double, 4 RBI, scored 3 runs, a walk, had a lawn mower double celly, which I've never seen before, and the River Ridge 2027 earned player of the game.
Yeah, he was unbelievable. He goes 2 for 3 in the game, also drew a walk in there, had 4 RBI, scored 3 runs himself. He was literally a part of 7 of the 11 runs that this team scored, and that is why a guy wins player of the game. That is a game-defining, championship-winning, defining moment right there from Luke Donaldson, who after he delivered that 2 RBI double late in the game, it was pretty clear he was going to get this Player of the Game award from Publix.
Yeah, we will have our Player of the Game interview with Luke Donaldson across our social media channels. He and Simone Stanley chatting right now, so make sure you check that out. But, I mean, this team had 11 hits in total. Again, a great effort on the mound from Owen Tarantino. And 6'4" DP Tigers get to call themselves 16U national champions. We will be back this Saturday as we now turn our attention to the 14U national championship. And we'll have a matchup of the Memphis Tigers against Top Gun Black. That one is slated for 10 a.m., so make sure you join us for that one. It'll be available, as all of our broadcasts are, on Facebook, X, and YouTube. Until then, for Grayson, Rosen, and producers Mason Monroe and Maddie Bullock, I'm Cory McCartney, and we are signing off from LakePoint Sports.